Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Today is day 13 and I welcome you all, and I'm so happy for you and I'm so proud of you that you're with me on the day 13th. So we have one more day to go. And today we'll work, a little bit harder, maybe, as yesterday. And I want you to see how you can cope with the intensity of the exercises and how you can maintain the relaxed way of breathing. So maybe during the practice, especially when the pose is challenging, and probably we'll do a couple of, I will give you variations. Again, never strain yourself. Just see where you are at the moment and be proud of that. Just know that it depends on the amount of practice you apply into the pose, into the practice. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Just remember that, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. So just the most important thing of the practice is to enjoy it. And during the practice, especially in the challenging poses we're going to try to see if you can maintain the neutral, natural, relaxed way of breathing, meaning that your inhale will be all the way from the belly button, or down towards the belly button. You use your diaphragm to the fullest. We call it abdominal breathing. And as you exhale, I would suggest you to exhale in the area of the most tension. It can be your hips, your legs, your shoulders, where you feel it the most. Just exhale into the zone and try to relax it a little bit more. And a very important note, try to see if you can maintain your exhalation at least the same length as your inhalation. If you can extend it and make it a little bit longer, try and see the effect of that kind of breathing onto your body, onto your mind. Because as you know already, I hope, that yoga is not just about physical exercises, and merely not about physical exercises. It's about finding the connection between your body, your mind, and your soul. So, and when we breathe, when we're trying to stay relaxed in the midst of, challenge, the connection really establishing. So I suggest you to try, and I really hope that you will enjoy it. Good. So today there will be one more practice I wanted to introduce to you. It's called Kapalabhati breath. We'll do it just 10 times. We'll do it really slow, and it will be like the introduction, and then you can increase the speed, you can increase the amount of the Kapalabhati breath you're doing. But just to explain, just to see how it goes, what kind of effect it brings onto your body, we'll do it 10 times, 5 and 5, and I'll show you and I'll explain you the difference between those 5 and 5 breaths. So for Kapalabhati breath, you can even place your hand onto your belly button. We will be exhaling with the force, and you will be engaging your abdominal muscles, pulling them in. Imagine that you pull your navel in and down towards your spine. That. And then inhale will come naturally, so you don't have to think or worry about your inhalation. It will come. But your exhale, you pull your navel. You pull your navel. That's why sometimes I even ask my students to keep their hand on the belly so they feel the movement of the abdominal wall. Inwards. And Kapalabhati breath is called skull shining breath. So it helps you to lift your energy up. It really activates your Agni, because we're working with the middle of your belly, with your digestive fire here. It's called Agni. it really being activated, so it helps you to distribute this Agni into the right places in the body. So it helps you to digest, to detox, to eliminate, and it also helps you to feel, sometimes you even feel it to the top, to the crown of the head, and that is the result of the Kapalabhati. But the best thing is to enjoy it. The best thing is to practice. So place your hand onto your belly. We're going to do it really slowly. If you wish, you can have your eyes closed, and you will be exhaling through your nose, not through your mouth, through your nose, with the force, pulling your navel in and down towards the spine. Yeah? So maybe let me show you a couple of times, and then we'll do our 5, and then I will show you what we can add to the next 5. So just I'll do it 2 times. Watch me first, and we're going to do it really slow. So first you need to relax, you need to calm down, and very important that you keep your spine nice and straight. You're lengthening through the crown of your head, drawing your shoulders down away from the ears. And then you inhale, and as you exhale, you start your Kapalabhati. Yeah, so it will look like that. So we're going to do 5 of those. So now I invite you to do it with me. Close your eyes, keep your hand onto your belly button, and really feel, maybe even help with your hand, to pull your abdominal wall in and your navel in and down towards the spine. Down meaning backwards. Good, so we're inhaling all together, fully exhaling all together in a relaxed way. And now inhale to Kapalabhati 5 times. Good, just relax. Sometimes it creates some kind of tingling sensation at the back of your throat. This is fine. Sometimes your throat starts drying up. This is fine because we're creating heat, we're distributing the heat in the body. And for now, just feel the area around your belly button. Feel that it's becoming warmer. You know, it's like sun is shining into the zone. So your Agni is being activated. Feels really nice. And for the second 5, for the second round, for next 5 times, we're going to pull your navel in and up. So imagine that you're trying to pull it up towards your rib cage. Yeah, so it's a small movement. It's pretty much will look from the outside similar, but the feeling that you're pulling your navel in and up is what we want to achieve. And again, just 5 times, really slow. Close your eyes. Drop your shoulders, lengthen to the crown. Very important that you keep your spine really nice and tall. Inhale all together. And then exhale all together completely. Inhale to Kapalabhati. Your navel will go in and up. Relax. Release your hand onto your knee. And do a few rounds of relaxed breathing and observe your body. Observe the area around your belly button. And maybe see if you can feel the crown of your head, the top of your head, right there. Very well. Nicely done. Thank you for that. Namaste. And we're starting. And today we'll start just in the child's pose. Just maybe to prolong the effect of the Kapalabhati. So you come to the middle of your mat with your knees open and spread your knees wide as your mat, big toes touching. And from there, you walk with your hands. Keep your hips over your heels And see if you can release your forehead down. But imagine that you want to bring your belly down. So you're not rounding, you keep your spine nice and neutral. Relax your forearms. Try to relax completely in the pose. Feels really good. Try to soften with your breath. Try to soften with your body. Drop any expectations of the practice. Sometimes we start slow, sometimes we start gentle, and that's how you should maintain yourself during the practice, despite anything. Stay relaxed, stay soft, and very important that you stay curious. Imagine that it's the very first time you practice yoga, or even you live on this planet. So you don't have any past experience, and you really want to know how it feels to practice. And that brings curiosity, and it opens your possibilities, so you're not afraid anymore to fail. And it brings liberation. Good. On the next inhale, come back up to a tabletop. Bring your knees parallel. So your shins parallel, knees hip distance apart. Back up your knees, maybe 10-15 centimeters. And then your hands will be slightly to the front, in front of your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Remember, we always rely on the fingertips and the knuckles, never on the wrists. Wrists are light, and very important that you are able to claw like a cat. Claw. So the fingertips will be pushing through the mat down towards the floor. On the next inhale, bring your shoulders over your wrists. As you exhale, slowly bend your elbows, keep them close to your body, so you're almost brushing the sides of the body. Release your chest and chin to the floor. Your bum will be sticking out. Inhale, glide forward, release your belly. Now take over with your legs. Keep your glutes completely relaxed. Keep the muscles of your lower back completely relaxed. It's just your arms. Lift yourself up. Draw your shoulders away from the ears. Come to your baby cobra. Don't come too high up. Exhale, lift your pelvis, tuck your toes under. And bring your hips over your heels. Child's pose, release your forehead. And again, inhale, come forward, shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, brush your body with your elbows. And release your chin and chest. Untuck your toes. Glide forward, release your belly. Maybe this time come a little bit higher up. Shoulders down. Lengthen to the crown. Exhale, lift your pelvis, send it up towards your heels. Release your forehead down. We're going to repeat it 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, release your chest and chin. Keep your elbows close. Untuck your toes. Inhale, release your belly. Now again, with your hands, press up. Lift yourself up. Relax your glutes. Exhale, bring your hips over your heels. And release your forehead down. One more time. Inhale. Come forward. Shoulders over your wrists. Exhale. Chest and chin to the floor. Untuck your toes. Inhale. Glide forward. Release your belly. Press with your belly button down. Keep your hands pressing down. Shoulders away. And with the help of your hands, and try not to open your elbows to the sides. Keep them close to your body. Lift up. Close your lower ribs. And come in towards your cobra. And exhale. Release yourself. Lift your pelvis. And bring your hips over your heels. Come to your child's pose. Stay here. And feel the effect on the body. On the next inhale, come back to a tabletop. Again, bring your knees parallel. Tuck your toes under. Hands slightly in front. Let's do a couple of cat and cow. Inhale, drop your belly. Hammock your spine. But again, never sink up. Try to lift and move your shoulders away. Press the floor away with your fingertips. And from here, I want you to close your lower ribs. Without losing this curve in your lower back. That will bring nice activation to your deep core muscles. Then with your toes tucked under, lift your knees. See how it feels for you to keep your knees off the floor. And if you have your deep core muscles activated, it's pretty easy. Then send your hips back. Belly is resting onto the thighs or almost touching. And from there, without losing this connection, release your head and your neck and start sending your hips up and back. Up and back. Keeping the extension, the elongation of the spine. Keeping your shoulder blades sliding away from the ears. And keep your knees bent. Keep your heels high up. Stay here. And just remember the position of your torso. From here, if you can straighten one knee without rounding your spine, go ahead. So imagine that your torso is a piece of rock. You can't move, you can't change the position. You're just walking and feeling the stretch to the hamstrings, nothing else. Your sit bones still up towards the sky. Good. Couple more. Well done. Keep your both knees bent. The next inhale, look to the front of your mat. As you exhale, bend your knees more. Look to the front and feel like you're a spring. You're ready to come forward. And as you exhale, you walk your feet towards your hands. Good. Then grab your blocks if you have them. If you don't, you can use taco blocks or you can be without the blocks. So hands underneath your shoulders, hands on the blocks. Maybe step a little bit back with your feet. Bend your knees, shift your pelvis forward. Make sure that you're not rounding here. So bend your knees as much as you need to keep your neutral torso. Shoulders away, lengthen to the crown of your head. And from here, start without moving your pelvis backwards. You keep your hips directly above your heels. You're just lengthening through the sit bones. And because your crown moving to one side, your sit bones moving to the opposite side, you feel the lengthening to your torso and you feel a nice activation to your hamstrings. As you exhale, again, you can bend your knees more. Release your belly onto your thighs. If you need those blocks, you can use your blocks. You can lower them or you can move them to the sides, hands on the floor. And drop your head, drop your neck. And from this position, so we know that the lower back is neutral here, you simply start sending your hips, your sit bones up towards the sky. Releasing and working through your hamstrings. And not a big deal if your knees are still bent. This is not a problem at all. Just allow yourself to be here. And again, one more time, inhale, come halfway up. Blocks, hands on the blocks, lengthen through the ground, lengthen through the sit bones, feel the activation. Feel that you are able to maintain your neutral spine. Exhale, belly onto the thighs, remove the blocks. This time, grab your opposite elbows, wiggle your head in between. And again, you just, first of all, make sure that your neck on your head is heavy, neck is relaxed. And from that, so your torso is dangling, your torso is absolutely relaxed. You're just opening through your sit bones, moving them up towards the sky. That will straighten your knees a little bit, and that will bring sensations to your hamstrings. Very important that you're not leaning backwards, and you feel that the weight of your body almost onto your toes, so you're, almost tipping over. You can sway with your torso. Nice activation of the hamstrings. Good. And then hands again on the blocks. Inhale, come halfway up. Then bend your knees more. Maybe you still have them the same way. Bring your torso parallel to the floor. Activate your torso. Bring your arms to the sides. And then with the active legs, you come all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands in front of your chest. Well done. Remove the blocks. And come to the front of your mat. I will turn facing the camera. You can stay where you are. From standing, I want you to place your feet first parallel. Bring your pelvis above your heels, shoulders above your pelvis. Lengthen to the crown of your head, and maybe place one hand
Maybe let me show you from the side what I'm trying to explain. Place your hand to the back of your head and push. Push into the hand, your hand resists. And imagine that that movement creates a lengthening upwards. So that is a nice way to realign your thoracic spine. So your thoracic spine going deeper in between your shoulder blades. Feels really nice. Release your hand down and arm down. Feel yourself. Keep your ribs in. Nice lengthening. Good. From here, we maintain the position of the torso. Open your right foot towards your right a little bit and place just the big toe onto the floor. That will have to move or shift the weight of your torso towards your left, or the pelvis towards your left foot, towards your left leg. You know, try not to sink. Try lifting up through your left hip as well. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. With your right hand, grab onto your left wrist. Inhale, lengthen through your left fingertips up towards the sky. You feel a nice extension of the whole left side of the body. As you exhale, shift your pelvis towards your left and bring your upper body towards your right. The more you shift your pelvis, the more you can open to the side. You can look up. If it doesn't work for you, you can even look down or to the side. It's up to you. And try to shift your pelvis a little bit more and see if you can balance. Maybe again, be curious and try. Play a little bit. Lift your right toes and see if you can stay here. Maybe you're still there. Not a big deal. Inhale, come back up. Keep your arms up. We're toning our arms a little bit. Now, grab right away. Right wrist with your left hand. Shift the weight of your body towards your towards your right foot. Keep lifting, not sinking. Lifting up. Then the big toes to the side. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. Pelvis towards your right, upper body towards your left. You can look up. You can look to the side. You can look down. Keep shifting the pelvis more. So much. Then you can maybe lift your left toes. Feeling the opening. One more inhale. And then slowly come back. Shake your arms. Shake your legs. Well done. How are you feeling? Okay, come to the front of your mat. Good. We're going to come back to the downward facing dog and we'll do one nice sequence with the pelvis facing forward. Anyways, make sure that your feet hip distance apart. They parallel. Inhale. Lift your arms up. Lengthen through the crown, release your shoulders down, lengthen through the fingertips. Exhale again, bend your knees right away. And try to come to the forward fold with the neutral spine. And maybe you're here, maybe you need those blocks. Place your blocks underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, lengthen through the seat bones. Exhale, belly onto the thighs. Release your torso, your neck your neck is relaxed, head is heavy. Hands on the floor. Start lifting your sit bones up towards the sky. Inhale, come halfway up. Bend your knees so much they can place your hands to the floor. Then step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. We're coming to a plank pose. If it's too much for you, you can always release your knees down. Otherwise, stay there. Try not to lift your pelvis too high up. Try not to lift lower your pelvis too much. Try to maintain this neutral position. It's very important that you are able to work through your lower ribs and close them, so you're activating your core here. Exhale, knees to the floor. And then again, brush your body with your elbows, chest and chin to the floor. Untuck your toes. Inhale, glide and release your belly onto the floor. From here, press with your hands, move your shoulders away, and lift yourself with your arms. Come to your cobra pose. Exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your pelvis, and send it up and back, downward facing dog. Good. On the next inhale, again, your knees can be bent. Very important that you are able to maintain the neutral spine in your downward facing dog. If you're ready, you can try. Sometimes, lifting the heels first works, and then slowly you can start lowering the heels down. Very important that you're not rounding. You're maintaining the neutral position of your spine. On the next inhale, lift your right leg up. Try to lifting it from the inside of the leg, so you're not opening the hip. You're keeping your hip neutral. Exhale, knee enters the chest. Round it up. Close and pull your navel in and up. Engage your deep core muscles and exhale. You step it by your right thumb. Sometimes we end up here. Grab your ankle and bring it forward. Right away, toe heel your right foot towards your right. Bend your left knee a little bit. And then try to bring your right knee directly above the heel. We're still down. We're preparing our hips. And release and scoop your right outer hip down. Inhale, come up. And feel again like you spring. You're pretty comfortable here. Your left knee is bent. Your right knee directly above the ankle. And your right outer hip. You're scooping it under. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Close your lower ribs here. Make sure that your shoulders directly above your pelvis. And from here, if you feel that you have some space, try to see how much you can straighten your left knee without moving the hip, without extending your right knee. So again, this is a piece of rock. You're just working through your left knee. And maybe you're just opening it a little bit, straightening it a little bit. Maybe you are able to straighten it all together, completely. And if you do, imagine that your left heel wants to come to the floor. Keep your lower ribs in. You're not flaring out. You're keeping them in. Good. Then I want you to come to diagonal with your torso. You're just hinging from the hip joint. And then slowly release your left hand onto the floor. If it's too much, again, you can always release your left knee down. Otherwise, stay there. Inhale, lengthen to the ground. Exhale without lifting your right hip. Twist towards your right. Keeping your right shoulder down. And then on the next exhale, bring your right arm up towards the sky. Nice and very gentle twisting pose. Good. And then look down, release your right hand to the floor. Step your right foot back to the downward facing dog and then lift it up. And this time, stack your right hip on top of the left. You can keep your right leg straight for a moment. Feeling the opening. See if you can release your left heel a little bit closer towards the floor. Then bend your right knee. And imagine that you want to touch the outer left shoulder with your right toes. That will create some nice opening for the right hip. Inhale straight. Straighten your right leg. Then lower your right hip. So your right hip in line with the left. Flex your right foot and see if you can bring your left heel closer to the floor. That will bring a nice engagement and stretch to the left hamstring. And then exhale, release your right foot down. Good. You can walk your dog. If you need a moment in the child's pose, you can release your knees down, hips onto your heels and forehead down. Just a couple of breaths. And then inhale, come up. And again, knees parallel, tuck your toes under. From here, belly onto your thighs. Release your pelvis back and up. Coming to your downward facing dog. On the next inhale, lift your left leg up. From the inside, from the inner thigh. So you're not opening the hip here. Exhale, knee enters the chest. Round your spine a little bit. Engage your core. And then step it forward by your left thumb. Maybe you need to help yourself with your hand. Again, toe heel your left foot a little bit towards your left. Bend your right knee. Bring your left knee directly above the ankle. Inhale, come up. From here, shoulders above the pelvis. Feel that you're pressing with your left heel down, that you're really steady. Scoop your left outer hip under and down, so you're not lifting. You're keeping the left side of the pelvis in line with the right. So your pelvis is neutral. Inhale, arms overhead, shoulders down, low ribs in. And again, just working through your right knee without changing an inch your position of your left leg. You try to straighten your right knee. Maybe you're here. Good. Then on the next inhale, lengthening. Exhale, hinging from your left hip joint. You come to diagonal. Then you're raising your right hand down. Again, along with the knee if you need to, or you're keeping your knee in the air. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist towards your left. Very important that you're not lifting your left hip. You're keeping it down. And then left arm up towards the sky. Nice, simple, gentle twist. Don't forget to breathe. Well done. And then left hand to the floor. Step your left foot back and up. Open your left hip. Bring your left hip on top of the right. Keep your left leg straight. Release your right heel down. And then from here, bend the knee. And try to see if you can touch your right outer shoulder with your left big toe. But you're still trying to keep your shoulders at the same level, so you're not opening too much towards your left. Looking down. Then straighten your leg. Lower your left hip. Flex your left foot. And from here, see if you can release your right heel down without shifting your pelvis. Pelvis is still up and back. And you feel nice stretch to your right hamstring. And then release your left foot down. Well done. On the next inhale, I want you to, without rounding too much, gently come towards your plank. Shoulders over your wrists. And then exhale, knees to the floor. And then slowly chest and chin to the floor. Untuck your toes, inhale, glide forward to release your belly. Your hands to the sides of your chest. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, come up. Cobra pose, relax your glutes, close your low ribs. And see if you can hold yourself with just your arms. So the muscles of your lower back can be relaxed. And exhale, tuck your toes under. Lift your pelvis and send it up and back. Downward facing dog. We're staying here for 5 breaths. You can be still. You can keep your knees bent. You can work through the small actions in your upper body, in your torso. You can walk your dog. You can try and bring both heels down towards the floor. It's up to you. One more inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, bend your knees, look to the front of your mat. As you exhale, walk your feet towards your hands. And again, if you need those blocks, place them right underneath your shoulders, hands on to the blocks. Inhale, bend your knees, lengthen to the crown and through the sit bones. Remember that your pelvis is directly above the heels. Exhale, belly onto the thighs, release your neck and head, drop it down. And again, if you feel that you want to do that, grab the opposite elbows, wiggle your head in between and stay here. Feel that you are completely relaxed through your torso, that you feel the weight of your body more towards your toes, and just simply send your hips, sit bones to be exact, up towards the sky. That will create some additional space in your pelvis, and it will allow you to go deeper into your forward fold. Good. Then hands onto the floor, bend your knees, bring your torso parallel to the floor, neutral torso. Open your arms to the side and inhale, come all the way up to standing. Arms overhead. Exhale, hands in front of your chest. Release your arms down. Well done. Let's do one of my favorite actually poses. It's a balance and it's a back bend. So it's called Nataraj or Natarajasana, dancer's pose. For that, you just stay where you are at the front of the mat, and probably it will be easier for you if I stay to the side as well, so you can see what I'm going to do. So we start with the right leg. meaning that you need to shift the weight towards your left foot, towards your left leg. Again, you're not sinking, you're rising through your left hip. You're maintaining this lengthening upward movement with the crown of your head. Then you can place your hands onto your waist, bend your right knee, and bring it to the back. So that is the initial position. Then open your right arm. Imagine that there is something here and you need to pass it to the back, right? A tray with, with an apple or some kind of sweets. You don't really want to miss. Then you don't want to miss the tray and you're trying to bring it all the way back. And then somebody takes the tray and you grab the inside of the foot and see if your thumb can be on top, because sometimes people do that and that closing the shoulder and doesn't feel natural. So we need to have this open shoulder. Good. So you grab your ankle, you have the right thumb on top of the arch actually of the foot. If you need to, you can gently bend your left knee a little bit. Maybe it will bring a little bit of a stability in the pose, because we're already balancing on one leg. Yeah. From here, I want you to start kicking the foot away from you. You kick the foot away, and obviously your hand will be there. So your right shoulder will go back a little bit. Keep kicking, so you're still with your torso straight. You're just kicking your foot away. And when you can't go any deeper, only then you start tilting or hinging from the hip joint, bringing your torso a little bit forward, but you're still kicking your foot away. So you need to feel that it's a back bend. Your left hand can be to the front. You can connect your index and your thumb, and you keep working from there, trying to find the balance. And then inhale, come back. Very important that you try not to open your right knee to the side too much. Your knee goes directly back. And up, shake your legs if you need to. And don't be, discouraged if you failed on your very first attempt. Probably we all did when we first tried it. It's just a matter of practice. You know that now. Just be curious and see how your body reacts to the pose and how your mind reacts to the pose. Good. So we're trying to do the opposite leg. So bend your knee, shift the weight towards your right foot, lift, lengthen through the crown. Again, the tray. So you have your arm open, your palm facing up towards the sky. You bring it to the back. You grab the inside, the inner side, of the ankle. So make sure that your thumb is on top of on the sole of the foot. Try not to open your knee pointing directly down towards the floor. Right away, try to bring your hand to the front right away, connecting your index and the thumb. From here, again, bend your right knee a little bit if you need to. From here, start kicking the foot away. Keeping your shoulders. Yes, your left shoulder will be slightly further than your right, but you still the sternum facing forward. You're not opening towards the left. Kick the foot away. And when you can't kick any further, start hinging from the right hip joint. Coming to your nataraj. One more inhale and exhale. Come back. And sometimes one side feels, shake your legs, shake your arms. One side feels more open than the other one. This is totally fine. Good. Maybe come to the front of your mat. Place your shoulders and your hips and your heels in one line. Lengthen to the crown. Close your eyes. And just allow the energy to settle down. Allow your body to settle down. Allow your breath to settle down. Well done. On the next inhale, open your arms through the sides and up. Exhale, bend your knees, and with your neutral torso, come halfway down. Hands on the blocks. Probably would have to step a little bit back. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, through your sit bones. Exhale, belly onto the thighs. Release your torso down. Release your head and your neck. Hands can be on the blocks. Hands can be on the floor. Inhale again, come halfway up. Place your hands, step your right foot back, step your left foot back, and right away send your hips up and back. Keep your knees bent if you need to, coming to a downward facing dog. On the next inhale, from here, ripple towards your plank, shoulders over your wrists. And from here, there is two options. So I'll show you the easy one. So you release your left knee down, angling your shin to the side. Bring your left hand slightly to the front and open it to the side. Then stack your right side of the pelvis on top of the left. Bring your right foot a little bit to the back, so the whole foot is on the floor. And then bring your right arm up towards the sky. So you feel that you're lifting shoulders away. Nice and supported Vashisthasana. So here is the stage one. If you want to try stage two, come back to the plank. From there again, this time you start with the hand slightly to the front and open it to the side. And roll your inner biceps forward. So you're really moving the shoulder blade away from the ear. Then come to the outer blade of your left foot and step with your right foot forward. So your heel, your knee, and your foot. Your hip in one line. Here it's very important. You're not sinking with the pelvis. You're lifting with the pelvis, bringing your right arm up. So this is also supported Vashisthasana, but it's more intense than the first option. One more inhale. Exhale, look down and come back towards your downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. And from here again, on the next inhale, come forward towards your plank. Then you pick the one you want. You're either releasing the heel, right heel down, angling the the shin. Very important that your right hand slightly to the front and to the side. So you have space to roll the inner bicep forward. That will really help you to integrate your shoulder. Left foot slightly to the back, the whole foot on the floor. And inhale, left arm up. Or from here, stay there. Or if you do the version number 2, come to the outer blade of your right foot, right hand slightly to the side, and left foot in line with the left hip. Keep lifting through the hips and left arm up. Stay here for 3-5 breaths. And when the time is over, left hand to the floor, step back to your downward facing dog. Good. And then on the next inhale, release your knees down. Keep your toes tucked under. Maybe back up your knees a little bit. Very important for the next pose, you keep your hips directly above your knees and start walking with your hands forward. And imagine that you're sinking from behind of the heart. And maybe you will be able to release it to the floor. If not, imagine that you want to release it to the floor. You can release your forehead, but you're still sinking and melting from behind of the heart, allowing this part to come closer towards the floor. It's a very nice opening for the shoulders. It's also a back bend. Just stay here. Don't forget to breathe. Well done. Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Good. And right from here, lift up, release your belly, and place your forearms onto the floor, elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Very important that you're not sinking, you're lifting. So you're pressing the elbows moving the shoulders away and lengthening through the crown of your head. We call this sphinx pose. Staying here a little bit. It's again gentle back bend. Very important that you are able to maintain the relaxation in the lower back muscles and your glutes. You can even try to sway your hips from side to side to check if this area of your body is relaxed. Good. And from here, angle your left forearm, so your left palm is facing towards your right corner of your mat. Bend your right knee, reach back with your right hand, grab the inner arch of the foot, and see if you can place your hand on top of the foot. From here, start kicking the foot away, and your hand will resist. If it's too much for your lower back, you can always lower down a little bit, but you keep kicking. And then release and see if you can bring, sometimes we even trying to place fingers on top of the toes, elbow pointing up, and you're trying to bring your heel in towards your glutes. So nice. Try to keep the left side of the pelvis sinking down, not lifting it here. You're keeping it down. And your left knee quite close to your right. Nice thigh stretch. Release. Come back to your sphinx. Feel the difference between the right side and the left. And then angle your right. Bend your left knee. Reach back, grab the inner arch, and then place your hand on top of the foot or on top of the ankle. From here, again, if it's too much for your lower back, you can always slide forward, start kicking the foot away, and your hand resists. It brings nice activation to the thigh, to the quadricep, especially it lengthens your psoas muscle, the one which is responsible for walking and running, and with these days with almost sedentary way of life, when we sit pretty much all the time, it gets really short and intense. And from here, maybe from here you're bringing the foot towards the glute, or you're trying to bring your hands on top of the toes, and you do the same. Nice thigh stretch. And if you're really flexible, try to bring your heel to the outside of your left glute. One more inhale, exhale, release, make a pillow out of your hands, release your forehead, and wiggle your pelvis from side to side. Well done. And then just turn around onto your back. And from here, again, you can bring your knees into the chest if you need to, and wiggle from side to side. You can do a simple twist. Just a little bit, just to feel that you bring ease into your back, into your spine. And when you're ready, extend your legs, bring your feet as wide as your mat, drop your feet to the sides, wiggle your shoulders, and move them slightly away from the ears. Arms to the sides, palms facing upwards, close your eyes. Inhale through your nose, and then sigh it out through your mouth. One more time, inhale, and then exhale. And one more time, inhale, and sigh it all out. Excuse me. And we stay in Shavasana. And
And just remember that you can always stay longer. You can stop the video and stay for additional 5-7 minutes. A long Shavasana. It's really nice, really allowing you to soften the body and really feel that connection between your body and your mind. But if you don't have time, and normally we are too busy, we slowly start coming out. Wiggle your toes, your fingers, your ankles, your wrists. Bring your arms overhead and give yourself a nice stretch. And when you're ready, roll onto the right side of the body. Bend your knees and stay here. Feel the relaxation of the body, feel the ease. And then slowly, with the help of your left hand, come up. If you need to sit on the block, you can always grab a block and sit in it. It can be cross-legged position, it can be Vrasana style, whatever works for you. Sukhasana, Padmasana, you pick. Shoulders above your pelvis, lengthen to the crown. Shoulders down, relax them down. And just feel your body in this position. Couple more breaths. Then bring your hands in front of your chest. Bow towards your hands. Namaste. Thank you so much. Hope you feel better. Hope you feel, energized. And the Kapalabhati you can repeat anytime. Normally we do it in the morning on the empty stomach. And the more you advance, the more repetition you can do. And some people do it 1 minute, 2 or 3. Some people do 108 repetitions and then repeat those 108 3 times. But again, this is not a goal. The goal is to enjoy it, and the goal is to go slowly and advance slowly. So it just really works for your body. Good. So see you tomorrow, and tomorrow is the last day of the challenge. Hope you're ready. Namaste.